Drawing on Cold War themes, CounterSpy takes a different perspective on stealthy gameplay, offering a simpler, more lighthearted take on sneaking missions. Combining the space race and the arms race, the barely fictitious imperialist states and their rivals the Socialist Republic are both prepping to launch nuclear missiles at the moon. As an operative for the independent agency Counter, it's your job to infiltrate these countries' top-secret military compounds and steal enough intel to end the threat on the innocent lunar surface. Rather than freely moving in 3 dimensions or playing from an overhead view, CounterSpy limits you to a side-scrolling take on the action. However, guards occupy a wider 3D space, and when you pop into cover, the camera switches to an over-the-shoulder perspective, giving you a better view of their positions and room to line up headshots. Whether you're trying to pass by a camera or put a guard in a chokehold, there's less wiggle room in your approach, emphasizing careful timing as you try to dash into cover. Getting out of cover can be a bit awkward though, and since you use the same button to roll, there are moments where you can find yourself getting unintentionally stuck in the environment. Plus, the mix of perspectives can sometimes result in uncertainty on your enemy's line of sight. Like most stealth games, silenced weapons and close-quarters knockouts are your go-to tools, but alerting guards isn't the worst of your worries. If you manage to swiftly take out all the guards in the room, even a loud approach can serve you well, and there are plenty of explosives to take advantage of. There's also the trusty approach of using a body to lure guards into an assembly line of takedowns. However, a soldier that's even mildly suspicious may start to radio in his concerns, and when that happens, you need to shut down that noise immediately.
Who's there?
Radio calls, camera detection, and getting killed on the battlefield all raise the DEFCON level for that territory, with 5 levels of alertness. If you get to DEFCON 1, the authorities will hit the panic button and trigger a missile launch, giving you just seconds to race to the end of the stage and shut it down. The biggest trick with the DEFCON level, though, is that it persists across missions. So if you get careless, you're going to have to make up for it later. You can lower the DEFCON level by finding and persuading officers, but with just a few present in each stage, you really need to be careful. Your main goal in CounterSpy is to collect launch plans, but it doesn't matter whether you get them from the Socialists or the Imperialists. You can try to stick to one path for the whole game, or bounce between the two, and before starting each mission you can see how many plans are available, as well as the number of officers, weapon blueprints, and so on, letting you decide whether to push to the end or stockpile goodies. You can also play it safe by going to the country with the lower DEFCON level if you're having trouble staying out of sight. The game also has a fun scoring mechanic, at times pitting you against a rival spy from the leaderboard. Beat that player's score, and their body will be hidden somewhere in the next mission, bestowing extra rewards if you find it. For all its interesting concepts and stylish presentation, CounterSpy's biggest downfall is its procedurally generated stages. While it bears the promise of having an infinite number of level layouts, in practice, the building blocks become all too familiar. After an hour or two, seeing some of the same rooms over and over gets tiresome. There's little in the way of new mechanics as you progress, since you mostly just have to worry about soldiers with more armor. The biggest tactical changes come from unlocking formulas that bestow various perks, and new weapons such as mind control darts that force your enemies to do your dirty work for you.
Убить его!
CounterSpy doesn't really develop beyond its opening concepts. It's fun to play the spy game for a while, but it quickly falls victim to tedium and repetition, with an unrewarding ending that comes off as a smoldering dud.